once you shifted your mindset to really understand what you wanted, and you
It started coming.
closed down that salon, here it comes, right?
Yeah, yes. And I'm talking about it's been moving.
And talking about you already, so people that are on the live already know a little bit about your story, a little bit about your history, and how I'm going to be inviting Miss Sunshine on, Miss Delia King on once a month, so we can go over her goals and just go over everything that she's excited about accomplishing in this year with her 501c3. So can you just tell us a little bit what you're working on so far and what you've accomplished, like from the last, I know I explained to them that you closed your salon, or you left the salon that you were in that you actually own, and now you're working in a salon where you have a booth, you rent a booth, you still have your business, but it's inside of another business. And now you tell us why you did that.
Well, I closed my salon last year because it just wasn't going the direction I wanted it to go. I wanted to start the salon, and then I wanted people to work inside the salon so that I could remove myself from inside the salon so I could focus on my non-for-profit. But people weren't really staying in the salon. Things just kept happening, and I wasn't enjoying what I was doing because I was too focused on being a business owner, and I wasn't enjoying my business. So I closed my business. It's not a big deal. So I moved into the current salon that I'm at, and I actually really enjoy it. So then as time went on, I really still don't know how this happened, but somehow a caseworker came in, and she had two children that were going up to be adopted, and I offered to style both their hair for $10, and that's when it started.
Wait a minute, I got a question for you. Did you do that? Because you had a picture of that baby.
Yeah, that became my flyer to get the non-for-profit started. Okay. That all happened in one service.
In the salon that you just went to?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. See, I didn't know that. I thought that was somebody that's
I was in that salon, and yes, someone told her that I braided hair. That was pretty much all the information she knew. And she brought one child that was going up for adoption, and then the second week she brought two other sisters to the first child. So all three of those little girls are siblings that are on that flyer.
So wait a minute, did you know that she was bringing kids that were going to be adopted, or
I knew that. She just didn't know my plan for the children. So when she booked them, she had no idea. So when I did that little girl's hair, the first little girl, I charged her $15, and then the second little girl I think was 10, and the other little girl was 10. So they all were a very small amount because my goal is to not make anything from them, but she was like, well, no, you want to make something, you know what I mean? So I charged that small amount. But yeah, the first little girl, I'm not going to disclose their names, but the first little girl's birthday was the next day. So that was awesome for her because her hair was styled before her birthday, and then all three of them together were adopted that next week. So all of their hair got styled before that.
Were they all going to the same home?
Yes.
Oh, that is so awesome. So tell me how they felt. How did they feel after that? Like, how did they look when they came in and compared to how they felt or looked when they left?
Well, okay, so professional opinion, they looked, they looked. Delia's opinion, it was like, oh, thank you, bring them in. Oh my God, please, yes, sit her down. Sit that one down first. Like, that was where I was at with mine. But you don't want to make nobody feel like that. But it wasn't, I will say, because actually since then I've styled a few more. What I will say is that this wasn't one of those situations where the parent neglected the hair, or it was it really was just a lack of knowledge. There are people, when you have good intentions as far as adopting a person and all of that, you're only going for the child and the instant need. You kind of think about all of the rest later. So it's like, I'll get to the hair eventually and all of that. I want to make sure that their foundation is good, and they came from a good foundation. So the next step was their hair, and luckily for her, she met me. So that was her second step. So she left with a bit of confidence, and she also she made me realize that what I want to do now with my non-for-profit is I want to style children before they get adopted, but I want to teach foster parents how to braid, because they're the ones that keep having a revolving door. So it would benefit them more because they continue to foster children, so that's one less thing they'd have to worry about. If they learn that skill, that can continuate with them no matter what. So it was like, I could teach the public how to braid, but honestly, people go to YouTube University. Foster parents, they actually do have a gap that they're filling, and I want to help them fill that gap. So that I learned that after going this route. And then also, with that being stated, it opened that door. As soon as I did that, I went ahead and added the Sunshine's Hair Haven to my booking app. So that's the services that I now do on Tuesdays. And then it was funny because I was up, I'm a night owl when it comes to brainstorming, and I was up at like 2:30 in the morning one night on Facebook, and I was reading through some statuses, and this pre-interviewer for PBS Kids was on there, and I emailed her, and she's doing a pre-interview with me for the Hair Haven this week. So that's really exciting because that's like a platform. PBS Kids, everybody knows what PBS Kids is. so
okay, what are you gonna do? Do you have a process set up so that when an adoptive parent, or when the person who actually is sending them away to go to their adoptive family, do you have like a little package you can send with them, like a pamphlet? Or maybe
I'm working on the pamphlet. I don't still have the pamphlet just yet. So usually during their service, I share with them pretty much all the knowledge that they need to know about hair. I know, like, my number one thing that I pretty much say to all of the children is that the key to dry hair is not oil. So for the kids to understand it, I'm like, okay, imagine if you were walking through a desert, and they're like, okay, and I'm like, if you get really thirsty, what would you want? She's like, I want some water. I was like, all right, if I gave you some Crisco, you'd still be thirsty, right? And they were like, yeah, I wouldn't want that. And I'm like, that's how your hair works. So if your hair is really dry, you don't go run and put oil on it. Dryness means moisture. So when they understand that, usually they leave with a bottle of oil that is directed to their hair need, and then also a bonnet. They get a bonnet off top because a lot of children do not know the importance of maintaining the style. So I explain that to them so that their hairstyle can actually last, however long they may need it to last. So yes, eventually I will get to the brochure, because I want the brochure to kind of list all of the types, because when we say 4C, we know what we're talking about when we're talking to each other, but that's like a whole different language to an everyday consumer. So if I can get that understood as far as the breakdown for them, and then they can know, that will help as well. And then explain those oils, because like I know that a lot of Caucasian people have been instructed that coconut oil is amazing for us, and coconut oil is really good, but it's awful in the wintertime because it goes back into solid form. So you don't want anything that's going to turn white in the wintertime.
Exactly, when it's cold out. That wouldn't be cute for them.
Not at all. Okay, not at all.
Yeah, so because I know you have that fabulous website, have you created another page to
so that'll be what I'll be getting. That's why I was saying, like, I've got, it's funny, in the times we've talked, that the second to the last time I was a little busy. The first time we talked, I was free. Now stuff's starting to happen. Like, I'm busy. That's like, so it's amazing because I wanted this. Now it's like, okay.
It's like once you shifted your mindset to really understand what you wanted, and you closed down that salon, here it comes, right?
Yeah, yes. And I'm talking about, it's been moving. And then so in the midst of the process of this, like right now, I'm in contest competing for the cover of Ink's magazine, and I've really been pushing that to try to get those votes.
Is it too late now? Because I was supposed to go on there and do that.
No, you can vote daily, and I really want people to vote because Ink magazine, I did a little bit of research on it. If I'm not mistaken, they started in.
Tell me why people to vote.
I want people to vote because I did a little bit of research on it. I believe it started in 2005. There's never been a woman of color to grace the cover, ever, since the magazine started.
Magazine, just in case someone doesn't know.
Oh, it's a tattoo urban magazine. So it really just highlights people who are basically into the art of tattoos, and you pretty much get to explain your story, what made you start tattoos, and what made my tattoo story start is pretty good. I'd love to share it with that magazine. And then also the opportunity to be on the cover is beautiful. But I also feel like because I'm moving into a company called Synergy Services reached out to me to start doing mentoring to young women and battered women and pregnant women that are pregnant from results of rape. What I learned though is a lot of times people that aren't as attractive want to hear from attractive people the hurt that they've experienced, because unattractive people feel like they go through it because they're unattractive. I've been through some very unattractive situations in my life, and I want to explain to people that feel less of that, because they feel like because of their outside they were treated this way, has nothing to do with that. When people are bad people, it doesn't matter who you are. So I feel like if they heard a person with this look suffered the things that they've suffered, then they can see, no, it has nothing to do with that. Like, you can live a perfect life going on minding your business, and if a person's not a good person, they're just not going to be a good person. It has nothing to do with you. So I really want to, I feel like if I get on that cover and I do all of these things, then it opens these eyes so that they can focus on those things I want to share. So it's almost like we have to use these websites and these platforms to grab these audiences, so that now that we have the stage, we can give them what we want to give them.
So now, isn't there a monetary value that you'll give?
Yes, it's $25,000, and that's what I want to apply to start my non-for-profit.
Okay, what steps would you take with that $25,000? Just let's say that you're visualizing that money is already yours. You're already on the cover of that magazine. What was the first thing you would do with that $25,000?
I would go buy a bus. I will go buy a bus because I want to. It's two sides to my Hair Haven. One side, I would like to do shuttle busing, but that's after the business has gotten to the level where it's in each major city affiliated with all the adoption agencies surrounding it. What can happen is buses can shuttle children upon adoption to the nearest salon or partner salon, because I'm also interested in partner saloning. I've talked to a few stylists that actually love what I'm doing, and they're like, I may not be able to come and work at your salon, but I have times where if I don't have a client and a style is needed, if they can come to me, I'll do them, and that's beautiful, because the more the merrier. But on the flip side to the shuttles, I would like a small bus that I can actually pull up on site to certain locations for, because another thing that I've also taken up at this time, I somehow got into photography, and I just remember when I got adopted, it took almost 2 years before a family photo was taken, and I remember just walking down the hall and looking at this family that I'm not a part of. So I want to get a picture of these children before they go, so they can take a picture with them and hang it on this new wall they're about to live in, so they can feel a part of the family. And then it's also a big deal for siblings that end up getting separated, so they can have that picture from their youth. You see that in movies, like, this is my sister or my brother, and then when they get older, they can find them again. It's something dear. I just want you to be able to hold those things near and dear to your heart, and your visual, your memories, all of those, them come together beautifully.
Okay, so this month, because we're going to be talking once a month, and I'm going to be checking in on you to see how you've gotten stuff in order. Now, have you thought about creating that page on your website, right?
Yes.
And also, have you thought about start collecting email addresses for the adopted parents? Now, do you get any contact with the adopted parents after the kid has gone to the parent?
Now, so far I haven't done as many yet, so no. Currently, I've just been more so focused on working with the adoption agencies.
Okay.
So just to give them a feel of what I'm doing, and then I've been doing it slow. So I've been writing down small goals because of you, because I had never done that before. But I've been writing down small goals. So my goal, today's February 1st, by March 1st, is to have all of the legal side of my paperwork completed. I've been doing all of this just on me. So I just wanted to get the ball rolling, because I knew that the only way to start it was to actually just dive in. Because I feel like I opened my mouth and said that this was going to happen last year in February, and then last year happened. So this year, I don't feel like there's nothing holding me back. There's no excuse, and I'm now in a better position to make those decisions and go ahead and attack. So with that being stated, yeah, I want to get the legal side of this done. That way I can work on partnering and sponsoring. I was sitting on a website thinking that I was filling out the paperwork for the 10, whatever the legal formats. Honey, when I got finished, I found out that all I had wrote out was a donation letter. So I'm thinking I'm filling this out, and when I got done, they were like, your donation letter is now complete. Who would you like to send it to? I was hot. I done wrote out all of the stuff, the dynamics, what I want to do. I'm thinking now I'm putting my business plan on here, honey, and it was just a request for a donation. Now, I'm not complaining, because that was cool. Okay, so now I know, I got a formal donation letter, not like, hey, I do this, can I get some money? But it's like I thought that I was like, in the running to get my business started, and all I wrote was a donation letter. So I was like, clearly I have a lot to learn.
And it's a process. We all have I'm still learning. I'm still learning. This is all new to me, but guess what? I'm here. I'm showing up because I really enjoyed our talk that we did almost a year ago. It's almost been a year.
Right.
And I searched for you. I found your little soul.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did. And tell us a little bit about because I'm still hosting this mastermind, and tell us about how that experience was for you. The when you first mastermind, what was it, last year?
Yes, I had never been in something like that before. So, number one, I was honored because after listening to them, number one, I was the youngest on the call. So that was a big deal to me. That ain't the first time that I'm the youngest in a situation. I always feel like that's the blessing I receive. Like, I'm now about to move into a dynamic where I'm going to be the oldest in situations. So the wisdom, the knowledge, the intelligence of any level is going to come from me, and they're going to soak it in. So anytime I'm in an atmosphere with people above me, that's my time to soak. So that's why I was sitting there, and it seemed awkward for me and all of that. But it was because I'm just hearing this knowledge. And I'm one of those people that I hear what you don't say when you're not saying it. So a lot of times when people are saying stuff, the stuff they don't say, I hear too. So that's why I sit and enjoy the way I do, because it's like, oh, when your sentence stopped and you ran over that word and went into that, this is what you was gonna say, and I heard it. So I enjoyed that. That was a blessing for me. And then it was also amazing too, because I was on the phone with heavy hitters. I ain't worked with anyone amazing. I've met amazing people in my time, because I just on my Snap, I'm just entering. It's been 3 years since I was in California, and I had met Tammy Taylor, and it was almost like I needed to see that, because she had told me that how my marketing was and how amazing I was at marketing, and I had forgot about that. So it was like, that was like, okay, you know how you are with marketing. Think of all the things you've tried to sell. Okay, well, now you have something you really can sell. Go sell it. And it's my non-for-profit. So that's where I'm at with that. All I keep saying to people is, well, I have a non-for-profit, and I don't even have the non-for-profit yet, but I keep speaking it into existence because I'm already in the actions of the non-for-profit. And when I was on that mastermind call, hearing the feedback that they had when I said that, like, you remember, I was on the main screen, so I couldn't see everyone. And then when I came back, everyone was like, that's what's up. That was like, amen, because like I told you, I'm not getting that from my background, so that positivity is a blessing for me.
And that's why we started the mastermind, because everybody needs that. If sometimes your circle is not there for you. It might be your family, it might be your girlfriend, it might be somebody, but just to have a mastermind where you can connect with like-minded people, that's very important, right?
Yes.
People in your salon might not even be like-minded. They might be cool, might be professional, but they just might not be on the same level as playing field as you are. And then some people in the mastermind are not on the same playing field. You might have somebody here, you might have somebody down here, but that's when you can kind of bring everybody together on one accord and just everybody helping one another. So I wrote my notes down for you. And I have a question for you. What are you going to do? Like, how are you working with the legal aspect of your non-for-profit? Are you seeking legal help?
No.
Together?
No. So that's how I guess I ended up with the donation letter the other day. So I called myself being online, going that route, because first thing I did was Google how to start a non-for-profit, and then they had this list of all of these different things that you do. Then I was like, okay, maybe I'm going about it wrong. So then I Googled what's the first step, and that's how I got on that website. So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm thinking I'm handling my business, so I have one aspect handled, but I'm not going to give up on it. It's just I don't know. So I'm just online figuring it out. And for a while, there was a lady here that actually did a lot of this for you. She helped to start up this. She did the grant writing and all of that. But she retired in December. So I feel like that's just my fault, because I said I reached out to her last February, and here we are. So it is what it is. But like I was stating to you, that Synergy Services, that's a major corporation. They have health houses. It's called Synergy services. They have help houses. They have battered women's shelters. They're a runaway corporation, and they're a major non-for-profit organization. And the man that reached out to me actually seen my my paper as the flyer to start the non-for-profit services, and he reached out and asked me would I be interested in doing that, and he stated that his business is a non-for-profit. So what I'm feeling like now, because that came out of nowhere, just like how you came out of nowhere, that might be the niche I need to hang on to. So like, we have a meeting this week, and when I talk to him further, I'm gonna ask like, hey, how'd you get that started? Because I'm online filling out donation letters, and I ain't gonna keep on filling out these donation letters like so I do know, I feel like God just keeps blessing me, because no one is staying on top of me about getting this done but you. So as long as I know that every month I got to get on live and make sure it's making stuff happen, that means that you are building me a following before I'm even there, and that's a blessing to me too. So that's why I say you're God sent for me, because number one, no one else seen the me that you seen. Then no one believed in that me that you seen for me to get to the me that you seen, because I'm now becoming what you saw. So it's like you seen the potential in me, and you already seen me at my height. And I didn't see me at the height, but I know height was coming. So I'm almost like, I know a growth spurt coming. Where is that? And you're like, girl, hold on, it's coming. Your growth spurt coming. So that's a blessing to me.
21, it's about to, your territory is about to be expanded. So what I want you to be ready for is, you gotta get ready and keep, start writing down, and keep in mind some people that you need on your team. Mm-hmm. You people on your team, because you're not gonna do all this by yourself.
No, I'm not.
For you to see you do this month is get that page on your website.
Yes, ma'am.
What we're gonna do is talk, like, we'll just do the first Monday every month. Since this is the first Monday, then we'll talk on the next Monday. But I'm gonna be DMing you in between time though, just to check on. So you said you're gonna work on the legal side. We're working on the Ink magazine, and I'll share that for you. That Ink magazine. Please,
yes, because it's a really big deal. In the top 15 was pretty simple. So now I'm in the top 10. In the top 15, there were 2 African American women. The other lady did not make it up there. So it's literally me and 9 other ethnicities. And it would be amazing. Like, this year we have Kamala in office. I feel like it's the year of change, and I think that would be amazing for other Black women too. Like, it would give us that opportunity that we don't get.
I have a question for you. When people go to that link, because I did go to that link, but I don't recall, is there information about you and your story?
Yes, it's at the bottom. So when you first read it, it got like the small sentence, like, hi, I'm Sunshine, or some crap like that. Then below it, it's a picture of me. Then below that, it says the Music Care vote. So that's the vote where you can choose to pay $1. But under that is the free daily vote. And you just have to have a Facebook page to vote, because you're using your Facebook to vote. But you can do it every day. It's for free. And so I believe that by the 4th, if I'm not in the top 10, because like right now I'm still number 11. So if I'm not in the top 10 by the 4th, then I'm out of that running. And I just really want to, I really think that I have that opportunity to do that. So
we got to get you in the top 10.
Yeah, we got to get up there.
Gonna work on that today. So I'm gonna jump off of here. I don't want to take too much more of your time, because you busy.
No problem.
Got stuff to do.
Yeah, girl, I gotta head up north. It's a lot, but it's okay. I asked for this. God won't put more on you than you can bear. So how dare I ask? Here it is.
Yeah, here it is, girl. It's coming. So we're gonna work with the Ink magazine. We're gonna be working with the legal aspect of your 501c3, because you're gonna have all that taken care of by the 1st of March.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And I want to look up the Synergy series. Does it start with a C or S?
S, Synergy Services.
Okay, Synergy Services. That's right.
Yeah, it starts with an S. So it's SYNERGY. Yeah, it's a very well-known company. I was actually very surprised myself when I got offline and seen it. Like,
It's going to be fast forwarded by getting your questions answered on that call you got today with the guy. To get your information, your legal information. You said you had a today, right?
Yeah, no, I'll be meeting with him on Wednesday.
Yeah. So you probably get a lot. I'm sure you get a lot more information once you start.
Yeah, heck yes. Because, man, you should have. I was just online like, what? Like, It was just killing me. And it's funny because you're right. I do need a team. Like, I need a person to do this. I need a person to do this. And then I need to be able to call and be like, okay, did you do that? Okay, good. So I haven't gotten to that level, but as soon as I do, oh man, yeah, I know that things can really take off.
Right now, just one person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me to be on this journey with you and your success.
Yeah.
This, like I see this being, like I told you on the Mastermind, I said I see this as a global movement.
Yes, and it's gonna be a big deal. It is.
Now you mentioned Hair Haven, Sunshine Hair Haven. That's what you call the.
That's what I call the adopted side, and that's because eventually you'll also be able to seek a counselor within the Hair Haven. Because what I learned in my life is, you know, a lot of times we take our past trauma from a relationship into the next relationship, and we kind of ruin the next relationship with the negativity of the last. But if we would have possibly talked to a counselor before we entered our next relationship, then we could enter fresh. So I feel like, okay, they're having a fresh style, fresh mindset about themselves, hopefully fresh luggage and a nice outfit, and then they also need to have a fresh mindset. So if they've been through an abusive situation, you know, for example, like myself, before I was adopted, I was raped by my mom's boyfriend. That was trauma that I held. So when I first met my new adopted dad, I just used to stare at him for a while until he showed his love. But if I would have had the opportunity to kind of get rid of that before I met them, I possibly would have moved on forward. So it's going to be a haven because you can get all of those needs met there before you go off and start that new journey.
Wow, that's awesome. I got chills, girl. I got chills. So I will be talking to you on, I don't even know the date, but we know it's the first.
We're going to get it together. We're going to talk.
Can you believe it's February already? I can't even.
Girl, I know you're gonna next. You're gonna be like SalonCHAT July, and I'm gonna be like July.
So let you go, and thanks for hopping on, and we'll do.
Yes,
this.
ma'am. Thanks for having me.
Okay.
And I'll see you. I'll talk to you soon as well.
So this was our Salon Chat for today. Thank you everybody who jumped on the Salon Chat. I'm so excited to mentor this young lady once a month. And this is going to be an incredible journey for her and myself. And if any of you guys are hairstylists, please jump on one of our mastermind sessions. It is a free business mastermind session for hairstylists, and it is www.thesalonchat.com. So it's SalonCHAT, and it is a mastermind session where we host about 6 to 8 hairstylists and with my husband and myself, and we just get on and we just chat about whatever questions you have, your most desirable questions that you have about the salon industry. It could be about business, it could be about life and mindset, whatever it is. So our next dates are February the 8th and also February the 22nd. So until next time, peace.